Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time I tackle Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2. Why? Because it just moved over to Netflix, one from YouTube Premium or YouTube TV or whatever the fuck they're calling themselves this week. And season 3 is going to come out next year. So if you watch it now, you'll be all set up for season 3. Let me take care of some business first and then we'll get to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of this video. You're going to see a video pop up here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match them as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have up there. I change it out every week. I just changed it today. I remember this time around. And also have the links to my social media up there. So Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tier set up in the Patreon because I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers. As a matter of fact, I just got a notice today from YouTube. I originally signed this agreement way back when, about the whole 1,000 subscriber thing and whatnot, all the perks that you get because you can pre-sign up for it. But now they've changed their rules. And so that's the last hurdle that I need is I just need 1,000 subscribers in order to get into this partnership thing that they call this YouTube partnership thing. And that's it. But in 30 days, if I don't get that, it expires and I have to, re-up it and all that stuff. And it's just kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, that's my problem, not yours. Let's see. I also have links on that channel on suspendedfanimation.com to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and my Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. So, hey, Morks. Hey, Jay Hicks. How's it going? Let's get started with the non-spoiler version of this. For those of you who haven't seen this series as of yet and are wondering, is it worth your time to see it? Did you see the original Karate Kid? And I'm not talking about the Jaden Smith bullshit one, the Kung Fu Kid with Jackie Chan, that bullshit one that was done a couple of years back. That was just complete and utter bullshit and crap. I'm talking about the original wax on, wax off, Daniel LaRusso, all that stuff. Yeah, that's right. I said the original from the 80s, from 84, with a very young Elizabeth Shue, an ageless, fucking Ralph Macchio. I think he's a vampire, quite honestly. And of course, a young William Zabka. So if you've seen that and you like those movies, this is a continuation. And quite honestly, I really hate the continuation stuff that they've been doing lately, where they take a 30-year-old movie and try and, revitalize it, Ghostbusters, and don't do a really good job of it. They really don't. They try and bank on more nostalgia than anything else, Matrix, and stuff like that. It really kind of irks me that they're just playing on nostalgia. This does not do that, believe it or not. This actually takes off 35 years later after the movies, and it's following Johnny this time around and what his life has become, and his life is pretty much a shithole. And it goes from there, and it's told from Johnny's point of view this time around, not Daniel's point of view. Is Daniel in it? Yes, he does come into play at some point in time, but this is all about Johnny and what's going on here. And you kind of, I don't know if anyone watched How I Met Your Mother, where Barney has always said that Karate Kid, is all about that Daniel LaRusso is actually the bad guy. You actually get to see this flipped around from Johnny's point of view and find out that Barney was kind of right about this. So yes, it is a drama, if you will, but it's got some karate in it too. It brings back all these cast of characters that we know from the movies, the original actors and stuff like that. I'm not going to give anything away on this non-spoiler version of it. But yeah, it hits all the right marks, all the right feels, and every episode's only about half an hour long. So you get 10 episodes per season, season 1 and season 2. and they're, yeah, about 27 minutes, somewhere around there. So really easy to watch, really easy to go through, and you'll burn through it in no time like that. So is it worth your time? Yes, it is, actually. Yeah. And yes, Keith Hamilton, that crane kick was illegal. I agree with you, that crane kick was illegal. Mark says I skipped the Jackie Chan crap. Love the original. Yeah. No one watched that Jackie Chan piece of shit. I'm sorry, I'm a Jackie Chan fan, but he just did it for the paycheck on that one. There's a reason why there was no sequel to that piece of shit, because no one wanted it. Yeah. So, with the non-spoiler version out of the way, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episodes. If you have not seen them, get the fuck out of here. Go and watch them. It's on Netflix. Go and watch it. Otherwise, I am going to spoil stuff, and you can come on back, and this will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Last warning. There you go. So, I like the way this played out. This series played out, quite honestly. You got Johnny as this pretty much an alcoholic, useless person, and he begrudgingly kind of helps out this kid in the apartment complex that he grows up in. Uh, Kind of like Mr. Miyagi did, only Mr. Miyagi was more, together. Um, and he helps out this kid who's getting bullied at school, and he teaches him some karate and whatnot. And the kid, actually, uses it for self defense. He's kind of a nerd, the kid at school, and the kid says, "Well, why don't you teach other kids about this?" And uh, he says, "All right, sure." And he opens up Cobra Kai again because, Cobra Kai got shut down with everything that happened after Karate Kid Part 3. Oh, actually, Karate Kid Part 1, and then also Part 3 when Tony Silva, remember, tried reviving it and trying to turn Danny over to the dark side and all that stuff. So yeah. Um, so yeah, Cobra Kai has been in the valley for like 30 some odd years. And so he decides to revive it. He gets a class in, he starts becoming more, I don't know, I guess you could say confident in himself. And but also he's really stuck in the 80s. I mean, he's got an 80s mindset. He's a dinosaur and doesn't know what the internet is really, hasn't really used it, doesn't know what social media is. And the kid who lives in his apartment complex is helping him through all of that. And also, as this is going on, Daniel we see Daniel come in, and he is a used car, or not a used car salesman, a new car salesman. He has a couple of car dealerships in the valley, and he sees Cobra Kai's back and freaks the fuck out and is like, "Nope, not on my watch, not gonna happen." And so he tries to, of course, push back on this. And in this whole thing, we get word of Johnny has a son that he hasn't really been seeing too much of, teenage son, who ends up training with Danny. uh, and living with Danny at some point in his family, because his mother has skipped town, and Johnny is in no condition, and he doesn't want anything to do with Johnny too. So, and also who comes back, but Crease. That's right, Crease is still alive, and yes, he comes into big play in this season 2, where he pretty much undermines everything that Johnny's been trying to do, and Cobra Kai starts going back to this evil way again. And as a result, Danny tries, reopening a dojo to teach everyone for free and wants to show them what karate really is about uh, self defense and basically self esteem, building self esteem, all this kind of stuff. And he is down on himself about maybe he isn't holding up to Miyagi's teachings at this point. Mark says Johnny is doing things honorably while Crease is doing going back to being a dick. Yeah, exactly. There's one actually episode where Johnny goes out with his old friends from Cobra Kai, and it's actually all the old actors, sweep the leg, Johnny, that guy. Well, that guy has cancer and is dying, so they go out on one last, motorcycle trip, and while he's away doing that, Crease fucking undermines him completely and is just going back to being a dick. And of course, Johnny, when he finds out about this, basically there's a fight that happens at a party, and he's like, "Who in the fuck taught you that? I didn't teach you that." And they're like, "Well, Mr. Crease has." And he confronts Crease and says, "Get the fuck out. You're out. Get out of here," kind of thing. True to his word, kind of thing. It's kind of nice that he actually does that. Um, and also he's trying to get through to Daniel as well, that it's a different Cobra Kai. It's not what he remembers, and that he's trying to do things differently. But Kreese, of course, fucks this up. And in the second season, they actually have a nice. Well, they end up being on a double date, if you will, because Johnny is now dating the kid he helped, his mother. He takes her out on a date, and they run into each other at a restaurant. Daniel with his wife, and then Johnny with his date, and they end up having a double date because the women are like, "Hey, that's great, let's get together." They don't know the animosity between the two. Well, Danny's wife does, but and so they kind of hash some stuff out, but of course that all falls apart again because of Crease. And this whole season ends off with a huge fight between the two different karate school factions. Season 2, I should say, ends with a huge fight at the school between the two karate factions of Daniel LaRusso's and the Cobra Kai's, and a lot of people get hurt. Actually, someone might even have a broken back at this point. And we also, in season 2, we get a new person introduced, a new character, Tori, who's introduced. It's a teenage female girl that is female, I should say, teenage girl that is part of the Cobra Kai. She's very, very vicious. And rumor is right now that she might be Tony Silva's daughter. Yeah. Or Terry, excuse me, Terry Silva. Not Tony, Terry. And from Karate Kid 3, the guy that was trying to turn Danny to the dark side. So that he might be her daughter, or she might be his daughter. So that's where we leave off on this season. So is it worth your time? Yes, it is. It's actually really good stuff. Yes, it is a drama, but it kind of goes back to touch points of different things in the movies that we were seeing and things that people had questions about, whether or not shit was illegal. Because Johnny even says that crane kick was illegal. You should have been disqualified. You shouldn't have won the All Valley tournament, is what he tells Daniel. And they're like, "Well, they didn't call me on it." So, yeah. So you bring up stuff like that. And that was actually one of the good things. Mork says season 2. I'm going to put on my glasses here because I'm blind as usual. Mork says season 2 to me was a CW high school drama. Sadly, the karate nostalgia was what's kept me watching it. I was okay with it. I know they were injecting more of the high school stuff in there because it was cheaper to do. I understood what they were doing, and it was YouTube. So now that it's moved over to Netflix and they already have season 3 in the can, and that's going to come out next year. I'm thinking they're retooling some of season 3 right now, even though it was already in the can. And we'll see what happens. Because I'm looking forward to season 3. I didn't pay for YouTube TV, by the way, to watch it either. And I did not watch it illegally because after a while, YouTube actually allowed you to watch it for free on YouTube. And so that's what I did. I just waited until it became free, and then I watched the episodes. I just didn't want to pay. What was it? I think it was like $40 or something like that a month. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not paying $40 a month to watch the one good show that you have on. I'd pay $10. But yeah, I'm not going to pay $40 a month. Yeah, kind of crazy. So, what else have I got going on? Tomorrow, I'm off. Thursday is a brand new episode of Raised by Wolves. That's HBO Max's Raised by Wolves. Friday is a new episode of The Boys. That's right. They're releasing weekly on The Boys. Saturday is another episode of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. Sunday is Lovecraft Country, a new episode of Lovecraft Country. If they don't release it early, hopefully they don't. Monday I'll be off, and then Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, so I'll think of something. Usually something pops up here. Maybe I'll do Away. I've been watching Away on Netflix, so that seems like it's a good balance on that one. So, other than Morks, who didn't like season 2 of this, anybody else been watching this? I know there's a few people here in the room. Keith, what do you think? And have you been watching it? How about you, Jay Hicks? You guys still here? And in there, been watching it at all? I've been watching a lot of other stuff too. So I mean, I burned through Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was actually humorous and stuff like that. I like the writing. Korra, I'm going through right now, and I can understand why people are, pissed off about Korra in certain respects. I'm actually in season 4 right now, and I was like, yeah. No, Korra isn't as good, but I mean, it still has. You could tell some of the writers had skipped out from the first 3 seasons, and they came back in season 4 because there were some issues that were going on, and I can tell from the writing what was going on there. And then, but still, there was one episode in season 4. I was just like, "Fuck, really? You've had 4 seasons, to do this. You haven't gotten this yet." So it kind of pissed me off. And then I was like, now I know why people aren't liking this as much. And it's because of the character. Yeah, the character is pretty wishy-washy. And that's why. They could have written the character a bit better, but neither here nor there. Yeah, like I said, I'm watching Away as well on Netflix, and I'm trying to think what else am I watching. Well, other than The Boys and Raised by Wolves and Lovecraft Country and all that stuff, I got my side stuff that I like to put on to relax and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. Well, since no one's responding back, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everyone who joined me today in the chat or tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video at the very end of this video. And if you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button. And while you're down there, why don't you hit the like and the share button as well while you're down there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have up there. I change it out every week. And also all the links to my social media are on there as well. So until Thursday, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, someone might do an illegal crane kick to the side of your head and, you lose that All Valley State tournament, which, will leave you on 35 years of bad decisions and lots of Coors beer. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Until then, take care, be well, and have a good night. Thanks, everyone. Good night.